The mission statement for this morning's guest should be everyone's mission statement. Find out who he is and what it's all about, coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at the Myrtle Beach Train Depot. We're focused on this Saturday's 16th annual South Carolina Black Family Expo. And we're visiting with the co-founder and creator of the expo, Larry Smith. Good morning, Larry.
Good morning, Greg. How good to see you again.
Thank you so much for coming in. I think this is your third or fourth appearance.
Third or fourth time, yeah.
Highlighting the Black Family Expo. Of course, we were back, I remember, a couple of years ago in the studio there at Fox. I think one time we may have even filmed in Florence together. But surely down at the beach a couple of times. I think every time it's been you coming down, even though we've tried to get together.
And always enjoying the experience. It's always been a great experience.
It has been. It's been great for both of us. And I think for our viewers, and of course the exciting opportunity for us is to get folks in, or for us to get up to the PD, but for get folks from the PD down here, since the viewership is in the entire PD and here on the Strand. It's a real opportunity to get folks traveling around. And what about this Myrtle Beach Train Depot? Isn't this amazing?
It's really, really nice. It's been here for a while, though, hasn't it?
It has, absolutely.
I saw some paraphernalia in the lobby that looks like it's dated way back.
Oh, yeah, very definitely.
Historic reference.
We'll have a guest this Friday, Jack Thompson, who was instrumental in helping to preserve the train depot. There was actually a steamroller, a bulldozer coming to get rid of it, and he got out there and stopped it. So he'll be sharing that with viewers on Friday. You'll have to turn in. Of course, you're jamming tomorrow night and Saturday, so you may not have a lot of time on Friday morning to be tuning in to Carolina People. But big night tomorrow night as well.
Well, big night tomorrow night. We are hosting our Honoring Our Elders program at the Shriner Center in Florence. The Honor Our Elders program is a spin-off of what we did last year, which was our Roast and Toast. Our Roast and Toast, we honored African Americans of achievement for their achievements in our community for the last couple of years. The first year was James Byrd of Curtis Mathis, and the second year it was Dr. William P. Diggs, who's the pastor of Trinity Baptist Church in Florence. This year we've decided to extend that to 11 people. One from each county that we serve as a newspaper in the Eastern South Carolina market. For instance, in this market we're honoring James Frazier as one of those people. We wanted to honor people who had not gotten publicity, who have not gotten the limelight, but who have done great things in our community. So we're reaching out to those people in the community, and we're going to have them in for a dinner. We're going to give them an award, and we're going to do a video presentation talking about the life things that they have accomplished in their life.
Of each of the 11?
Of each of the 11, yes.
That is tremendous.
And then we're going to honor as well African American Business Persons of the Year in the PD area and the Grand Strand area. Those people are Ann King, Black Businesswoman of the Year, Irby Wilson, Black Businessman of the Year, and we're also giving a Native Son Award to Darren Thomas, who owns Black Pages and similar expos to the one that we have, but he owns them in 12 different states.
Is that right?
Yes.
Wow.
And he's a native of Florence, South Carolina.
I didn't know that.
And so we're honoring people who we believe don't get the recognition that they deserve.
That's tremendous.
And we're going to do this again tomorrow night at the Shriner Center, starting at 6:30 and running until about 9 or 10 that night.
You still have a few tickets available for that?
We still have a few tickets. Tickets are $25 per person. We try to make it as affordable as possible for people. They can call 843-667-1818.
Okay, and even the viewers here at the beach who'd want to come up and honor the Honorable James Frazier, as well as so many others, to see Darren Thomas and see some of the other honorees tomorrow night, they can call and come on up, and that's the Shriners. Is that real easy to find?
It's off of Palmetto Street, right behind the Highway Department.
Okay.
Matter of fact, it's right around the corner from the National Guard Army for those people who know.
Okay, great.
So it shouldn't be difficult for them to find.
But folks do need to call 843-667-1818 so you'd have a good idea of the head count for any of the food.
We do, especially at this later date.
Right. Of course, big focus this Saturday, the 16th annual. Can you imagine, Larry?
It's been a while.
Pinch yourself when you think about the previous 15 years now leading up to this 16th South Carolina Black Family Expo.
I'm often pinching myself and wondering how did I get into being involved in this? We started out with a mission statement that said we were going to affect the quality of life for African Americans in South Carolina. Right. This is an extension of that process. The South Carolina Black Family Expo has been in place, like you said, for 16 years. And during that period, we've been able to touch lives and do some positive things. A part of what we do, especially with the dinner, as I talked about earlier, is we make the resources from that particular dinner, the profits from that particular dinner, available to nonprofit organizations in the community.
Great.
This year, we're going to use part of the money for a scholarship in the community, and the other part will go to the Manor House to feed the hungry in the community.
Great.
So we're working very, very hard to make sure that we're not just doing good business, we're being good stewards in our community as well. Right. And when we get back to the expo, we are absolutely excited about the expo. We've got one of the biggest names that we've had in the last few years coming to the expo, Vicki Winans.
Oh,
Vicki
yeah.
Winans of the Winans family. She's going to headline it for us. But we've also got 35 to 40 choirs and groups from across the community coming in to perform that day.
This Saturday?
This Saturday. We also add to that, we had last year we started a youth competition. I don't know if you remember, but we started a youth competition, kind of an Apollo-like competition. It was a sellout last year. So we're bringing in, matter of fact, we had auditions last Saturday, and we're bringing in about 10 or 12 young people to basically audition and be a part of this particular expo, and their families and their friends get to see them perform on stage, and it's an amazing experience. We thought it was the highlight of last year's event.
That is tremendous. For viewers who need to get off to work now or get family out to school, is there a good website, for instance, to learn more about this Saturday's South Carolina Black Family Expo, or call in the phone number? And is there an admission cost, Larry?
For the expo itself, it's $5 in advance, $7 on the day of, and $3 for groups of 10 or more.
Okay, great.
Also, you can also call us at 843, again, 667-1818, or you can visit us online at scblackfamilyexpo.com.
Okay.
And you can find out all the things that are going on that particular day. You can also get a timetable as to how those things are going to be happening during the day.
10A to 6P at the Florence City County Civic Center.
Yeah. Now, the expo itself is held at the Civic Center, and it would be held from 10 to 6. We imagine that Vicki Winans will be coming on somewhere between 3:30 and 4 o'clock.
Great, fantastic. I'm sure a lot of folks will be out just to see her.
Well, we've tried to make it as affordable as possible, Greg, and I think we've done that. When you can bring a national celebrity in and only charge $5, we're getting calls in the office for the last few weeks. People saying, "Now, what's the additional cost for Vicki Winans?" We're like, "Well, there is no additional cost. It's all a part of one show." And they go, "Really? I can see Vicki Winans for $5?" Say, "No, actually, if you bring 9 other people, you can see it for $3." So it really is an exciting time for us. It's an exciting time for the community. One other component of the expo that I had not had a chance to mention is that we are actually doing a health summit as a part of the expo. We're bringing in, we've invited all of the candidates who are running for president to be on the panel, and we've gotten some response. We haven't gotten a final commitment at this particular point, but we have gotten some strong response from them in terms of being interested. And we invited the congressmen from this particular area, both Spratt and Congressman Clyburn, to participate in this particular piece. And we've got community leaders and healthcare experts. I don't know whether you're familiar with Dr. Thaddeus Bell. He's out of the Medical University of Charleston. He was actually head of diversity at the Medical University of Charleston, and I talked to him last night. He's in Hawaii, and he's coming back specifically to moderate this particular event.
Tremendous.
And he is a healthcare. He does a program called Closing the Gap in Healthcare, and so he's going to basically, and he does this on video almost on a daily basis, and he's going to facilitate the town meeting and health summit, and he's also going to do workshops on health issues as they relate to African Americans. We believe, and one of the reasons we want to bring this to fruition, is we believe that a lot of the health issues that exist in our community are things that are preventable by us. And basically we need to know how to eat, we need to know how to exercise and things like that. And he'll talk about these things, and so will other experts across the state of South Carolina will sit at this round table and talk about it. We also want to record this and be able to broadcast this on local television at some point so that the community can see it on a larger scale.
Of course, the incidence of heart disease and stroke very high in the African American community, much higher. Diabetes very high. Real needs there, and a lot of folks in Charleston, including Dr. Thaddeus Bell. I know we think of Dan Lackland, who's a superstar and the president of the Mid-Atlantic affiliate of the American Heart Association, who's very focused on the high incidence of heart disease and stroke in the African American community. There are a lot of folks. And having an expo like that. Now, you've had the health expo in the past, haven't you?
Yeah, we've had a health component, and the thing that we're adding to this one beyond the summit is we're also adding a piece where we're trying to get free screening for people who want it.
Great.
At no cost. So they'll be able to go out and sit down and talk to a doctor about where they are currently.
Great.
And then have that doctor refer them to somebody else in the community or refer them to their office. We've got hospitals who are participating in this particular plan because we believe that it's important that we get ahead of this situation in our community. But other than education, I think healthcare is one of the single most important issues in our community.
Larry, are you a Palmetto State native?
I am. I'm a native, actually born and raised in Columbia, South Carolina. Moved to the PD in eastern South Carolina about 20 years ago this year.
That's right.
And it seems like I've been here forever. And I keep saying I want to move back to Columbia, but it's become home.
Your children were raised in the PD then?
My children were raised in the PD. My children moved here when they were about 3 or 4, and now they're grown.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact,
I saw one's in Florence and one's in Columbia now.
One's in Florence, one's in Columbia. And remember, I was here before. We talked about my granddaughter.
Oh yes, absolutely. And 2 or so now.
And now she's 4. She was
come on!
She was 4 Tuesday, and she's a handful.
That's right.
But
we did talk about your
Kayla.
Kayla. That's exactly
Kayla.
right.
But now Kayla has a sister, Kalia. And Kalia's right about 6 weeks old.
Congratulations. What's that like being a granddad?
It's another planet.
Of 2 now, yeah. Obviously,
it's another planet. Like, I'll give you a classic example, Greg. I'm in production. I actually do the physical production for the newspaper every week. And I start on Tuesday, and it's usually about a 2-day process.
Yeah.
And Kayla's birthday was on Tuesday. And I literally stopped everything I was doing and took Kayla to the park because we had a birthday party a few days before for her. And I took her to the park and hung out with her for about 3 hours.
No.
Just because this is my baby.
Yeah.
And that's what being a grandpa is like to me.
Yeah.
It's just to say, okay, there is nothing more important than your grandchildren.
And particularly a grandfather of girls, having raised 2 boys.
Exactly. And it actually is another
a little
world.
different than a son or even a grandson.
Oh, it absolutely is. And like I said, now that I've got 2, it's going to be a challenge. I'm already getting my request in for Disney World and for all of the amusement parks. We're going there. Matter of fact, they're coming down to Myrtle Beach before they go back to school.
That's great.
So there's a lot to being a grandfather, and it reminds you of what your mission is. And it reminds you about what is important in your life. Things like Family Expo.
Like the expo this Saturday.
And it reminds you that, look, there are a lot of things that are going on. How can you impact the quality of life? You're impacting the quality of life of your grandchildren. How can you impact the quality of life of other children in the community who need to have some guidance and some commitment, and people who really are working on their behalf? And I think the Black Family Expo, over the 16 years that we've done that, we've tried to be committed to making sure that parents had an understanding. We have a component where community action agencies bring in Head Start parents and get them involved in the process, and they pay for them to participate in the expo so that they can learn from the experience, because it's not just the health summit and it's not just the entertainment. There are vendors from all walks of life, whether they're people who are selling merchandise, there are people who are talking about issues that are important to us, whether they're education issues, whether they're consumer issues. A part of this expo and a part of all of our expos has always been our financial literacy piece.
Oh yeah, I saw pictures of that online. Great shots of that.
And we're working on that financial literacy piece. On this Saturday, we want to sit people down and have them understand from experts how to either repair their credit, how to grow their credit, how to make sure they're getting the best credit rates that they can when they're going out to buy goods or services. And we can only do that because we are involved with banks and other organizations in the community who are working to do that for us. And so again, on this Saturday, we will talk about that in workshops, in 2 or 3 workshops. We have a financial literacy piece that'll be a part of our brochure that we'll be giving out at the expo.
That is invaluable.
And because we believe that it's not just about the entertainment.
Right.
We should enjoy ourselves when we go out.
Sure.
But we should also have a learning process and a learning curve there as well.
843-667-1818. $7 at the door this Saturday, 10 a.m. $5 in advance if they'll call now by Friday. And, of course, a real need to pick up the phone. And then $3 for groups of 10 or more.
Absolutely.
So, really, they can, as you highlighted, I mean, they could buy tickets for 9 of their friends for $30 and then say, I'm taking all of y'all to a concert at 3:30 in the afternoon, but you got to get out earlier. It's good to be there a great opportunity to get out at 10. You've got food available as well for folks who get out there early.
We've got a food court. We've got a soul food court.
Great.
We've got barbecue. We have a barbecue cook-off.
Get down. I need to get up for this.
We have had one over the last 3 years, and we have a barbecue cook-off, so we have people there that are cooking the barbecue on site,
Yes.
and then they're also selling it at the event. So it's a part of not just the eating
Right.
and the fun, but just being in that environment, being around people who care and understand and love
Right.
you and want to be a part of what you're doing as well.
We got about 9 minutes, Larry, as we think about, for our viewership all over the PD, southeastern North Carolina, here on the Strand, and Orion, Georgetown County. A lot of folks want to know it's the 16th annual South Carolina Black Family Expo, but can we come? If they're not persons of color, can you come?
We, as we said in previous years, we don't exclude anybody.
Right.
We believe that as a part of our community, we have a mission that says that we need to speak to the needs specifically, of the African American community,
Right.
and we do that. But it's open to anybody who wants to. There'll be non-black people performing at the expo. I know that there's a group called Genesis that's a local group that's a very, very mixed group in the community, and they're a local group, and they'll be performing. So we have vendors
Sure.
from all walks of life
Sure.
participating in it. We have a lot of things that'll be going on for anybody who wants to have a good time, who wants to
Right.
enjoy themselves, and who wants to learn.
Absolutely. You've also got some tremendous sponsors, Larry, folks that have been sponsoring you year after year. You brought a great program along with you, but it highlights some of those sponsors. Share with viewers people who've been with you even year after year, or just this year, maybe first-time sponsors.
Well, our lead sponsor has always been Carolina Ford Dealers, and
Yes.
and I've got to take hats off to them because they've been there through from the start, and they took a risk on us early on.
Yeah.
McLeod Health Center,
Right.
has been there from the beginning.
Right.
They've always been.
Wow.
And they're the leader in making sure that we have the health services that we need at the expo.
They're a tremendous community hospital.
Food
Yeah.
Lion is great. Has always been a good partner.
Right.
We brought in last year. We brought in Alltel as a partner. King
Right.
Cadillac has come in this year as
King Cadillac, good.
as a new partner. The person who will help us facilitate our financial workshop, Washington Mutual,
Great.
is on the
Is
table.
wonderful.
And
Yes.
the Progress Energy is there and has always been there for us. Pepsi-Cola of Florence, the airport in Florence, Florence Airport, Florence Regional
Right.
Airport
Right.
is one of our sponsors. Crown Beverage, who's
And
the
so
Budweiser
many more,
distributor.
yeah.
And we're blessed to have not just those guys, but we have about 10 media sponsors.
That's
great.
great.
We've got people like Fox.
This station here,
Exactly. We've got people
WFXB.
like Fox. We've got Florence Fountain Peck. But we've also got the morning news.
Oh, yeah.
We were talking off camera about She Magazine. She
Sure.
Magazine is a sponsor. Golden Life is a sponsor.
Right.
We've got,
Of course, your own paper, Community Times,
that's
and
what I
Black
was gonna
Book.
say. We've got 6 African American newspapers, 5 in South Carolina and 1 in Wilmington, North Carolina, that are sponsors of this particular event.
Right.
We've got 5 radio stations. One of the blessings of doing this event, Greg, is that when we start to talk to media about participating in this event, we always have a challenge in terms of guys trying to position themselves as the lead media sponsor.
Right.
We've actually had to
that.
turn down some media sponsors because they were not in tune with where we wanted to be.
Right.
But we've actually we have people like the radio stations who are saying, I want to make sure that I'm a part of this. What can I do? And so it's not one of those calls that we have to make. It's
Right.
calls that are actually coming to
They're
us.
coming to
and
you.
that's a really good problem. We started this out a few years ago with the two major TV stations before you guys came into play in the market. The two major TV stations literally fighting for who was going to do the remote.
13 and 15,
13 and 15,
yeah.
fighting for who was going to be able to do the remote, and actually fighting to see who actually got the greatest presence. And they kind of, I think one of them upped the ante and said, "We'll bring in some talent," and they won. they start bringing in soap opera talent for
right.
it, and so they actually won in that particular case. But it is exciting to us to see not just the corporate support that we have, but the
community support. You're expecting 7,000 some folks. Sure,
the media support is outstanding when you're reaching out to people who most people think are competing with you, and they're willing to sign on. And be a part of what you're doing without hesitation. That says a lot about who you are and what you've been doing in the community, because it says that somebody out there respects you. You mentioned the numbers. We're shooting for 7,000 people to come to this event. We're pushing every opportunity through media, through direct mail, through all the pieces through the internet to try to get 7,000 people to this event. We hope that we get 10,000.
You probably have many more,
but the challenge basically is to keep pushing and to try to get them to either call 667-1818 and talk about getting tickets, or go online at SCBlackFamilyExpo.com and find out what we're doing and find out how they can be a part of it, because it's something that's important to this community. And it's not just important to the African American community, it's important to the total community. One of our sponsors, one of the people that we're committed to getting and is signed on, at least verbally at this particular point, is the city of Florence. We're talking to the county, we're talking to the economic development people. See, this piece has an economic impact on the community. Last year, we believe the numbers show that we had about a $400,000 economic impact
more than
on the community in terms of heads and beds and people coming into the community.
Just for that,
coming in, and because we've got people coming from as far away from as North Carolina, and we bring in talent obviously from Detroit and places like that. So, when you look at it from that particular perspective, it's not just a good thing for DBS Communications, which is the parent company of this particular event, but it's a good thing for the community as a whole. And it's an event that we think that is sellable to people who are coming in to do business in Eastern South Carolina.
Absolutely.
As to what is the cultural base of South Carolina? What are the good things that are going on? And this is one of the good things that's going on August 11th, this Saturday. This will be it. This will be the place to be. And again, if there's any questions, call us at 843-667-1818.
If a viewer called right now, and it's 7:25, if they were picking up the phone, calling right now, if someone's not there, can they leave a message?
They can leave a message, but I've done this more interesting thing. I did it a couple of years ago, and it's basically that my cell phone number is connected to my office phone. So if you call my office and you don't get through, you can always call my cell phone, and then you'll get me on my cell phone. And trust me, at 10, 11 o'clock at night, or especially since we've been promoting this particular event, Sunday afternoon to Sunday morning at 1 o'clock, we're getting calls. And my wife is looking at me, why is your phone ringing at 1 o'clock? But the truth of the matter is, we believe that if you really care about people, that's a small price to pay. And to basically be accessible to people. And that's what we want to do, is we want to be accessible to people, because we want as many people to benefit from this event on this Saturday as possible.
And the key word's family. It's the middle word in the whole thing. Black Family Expo.
And families come in all shapes and sizes. We've seen the growth and the diversity of our community, and so we can say black family, but that's not that you can look around our community and see that that's not always going to be inclusive of one black father and one black mother. And there are going to be multiracial families in our community. And we invite anybody who has an interest in improving their quality of life and learning and enjoying themselves to come out to the particular event this Saturday.
Vicki Winans, big name. The opportunity to get her in, performing 3 to 4 around that time. But again, viewers should get out there at 10, be out there for the full day. We've got less than a minute. Some other big things that are happening there.
We've got a bounce house.
Saturday.
We've got a bounce house for the kids.
Great.
We've got obviously the workshops that we talked about, but we've got, as I said earlier, we've got 35 different groups that are going to perform during the day, and it's going to go from gospel to hip hop to dance, and then we've got, add to that 35, we've got about 10 to 15 people, young people between the ages of 5 and 18 who are going to perform in the talent portion of this big event.
Great. Larry, thanks so much for being with us this
Greg.
morning. I'm sorry we ran out of time. Absolutely. Stay tuned to more Carolina People with Larry Smith coming up next. Take the time, get your pen out, get some paper out, write this down, 843-667-1818, 843-667-1818. You heard Larry say it. If you call and no one's there, it's going to redirect right to him. Take the time to write that down, or scblackfamilyexpo.com. scblackfamilyexpo.com. There's a lot going on. All this is going to happen within the next 100 hours. You can be involved. Tomorrow night, the P.D. Black Hall of Fame, and of course honoring our elders, a real opportunity to get there at the Shriner Center. Ticket costs $25. Ticket costs $25. The reception's at 6:30 to 7:30. The dinner's at 7:30. One person from each county, as well as some other amazing folks honoring our elders. Pick up the phone, 843-667-1818. You need to call by noon tomorrow to make sure reserves will have enough food for you, but only $25 at the Shriner Center. But more exciting, the Florence, not even necessarily more exciting, but a real opportunity this Saturday, 10 to 6. 10 to 6, Florence City County Civic Center. Again, same phone number, 843-667-1818. Pick up the phone and call. The tickets are $7 at the door, but if you call by 6 o'clock on Friday, you can reserve $5 in advance per person. And if it's a group of 10 or more, $3 per person. Think of that. The opportunity to see Vicki Winans out there performing around 3:30 or 4, between 3 and 4. Everything will be wrapping up by 6 o'clock. You can get out there all day. A lot of vendors, a lot of great performers all day long. That's this Saturday, August 10th. Get out there. August 11th. A lot happening in the next 100 hours. Pick up the phone or go online to scblackfamilyexpo.com.